Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I have the distinct pleasure of being here with Heather Chandler from the IMG Studios here in San Antonio. Heather, thank you for getting on with me.
Yes, thanks for asking me. I'm excited.
So, Heather is a business owner here in San Antonio. Uh, Back in the days, she was a newscaster, and she turned her business, created her own business, and she is in a number of things: video production, right? uh, Web content creation,
Yeah,
animation.
animation. We're doing a lot of virtual reality, educational games, augmented reality. So a real interesting mix of uh, products.
So, but you've done a lot of historically, you've done a lot of commercials.
Yes.
So, what are what's something that somebody in San Antonio would know that's from you guys that they may have seen on TV or something?
Well, recently, right now, what we've been working with the City of San Antonio Solid Waste Department. So we have um, kind of a COVID pivot situation there where we were going to do a live action commercial explaining how to recycle right and letting people know they can save money if they downsize their trash bins. But we were ready to shoot, had a crew ready, actors hired, and then COVID, and so we had to pivot. So we have a really awesome team of animators and modelers who basically kind of took the theme of the original concept and made it a 3D animation. So that's on TV right now. We were also before this, of course, we were talking about how a lot of businesses have been pivoting in the post-COVID era. So there's a office furniture company that came to us wanting a TV commercial to show people how they can make their offices safe, their home office or their office. And so actually this morning our crew shot a second round of commercials. So you may see that, and then we have another round of the animation coming out. So those are some of the ones that are airing right now that you may see.
Well, I know that you've done many at this point. Um, did you? I guess when you started your business and you were, just doing commercials, did you think that you would have an animation department?
No, you have known me since the very beginning. We've known each other a long time. And so, no, when I left news in 2007, 2008, it was me and a camera, you know.
Man,
So, no,
you
I
can
can't believe,
it.
we have an incredible team, and they make me look good every day. So, no, I can't. I'm almost kind of ashamed that I didn't have the audacity to dream bigger. I thought, well, maybe if I can get two cameras, that would be cool. But you know, we've had great clients. We've been lucky, and we have a really good team.
No, for sure. And like you said, your business is in putting out and uh, helping other companies display their public image, put out messaging. And right now, I think is it's a super important time, especially with what's going on with COVID. Like you've been talking about, people pivoting. Um, so it seems like has there still been a slowdown for you considering all of the pivoting and all of this other work that's come out, or is it have you been sort of lucky and sort of stayed level this whole time?
We've been lucky. I mean, when we had the kind of shelter in home order, my husband and I, he runs the interactive department that does the virtual reality and augmented reality. We kind of looked at each other and thought, uh-oh. And so, then the phone started ringing, and there were clients of ours from the past who said, "Hey, we need you to make us a video explaining new safety procedures for our office," or as we moved a couple weeks out, people coming and wanting to, like the office furniture store I was telling you about, they wanted to kind of pivot and change their messaging into this post-COVID office setup furniture. So we have been very, very fortunate that we've been steady, and we've kind of had a good mix of video, live action, which requires us to go out. And of course, it's different because we require our staff to wear face masks. So it's hot, and it's so they've been doing it, and keeping the crews small, but at the same time, we've been fortunate that we've had some other projects on the interactive side, like the animation or this educational video game that we're doing, or virtual reality basketball.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about this. I've seen a number of videos about it, but can you talk a little bit about the virtual reality wheelchair basketball program that you're working on?
Yes, so this was an organization called Straps, which is kind of partnered with Morgan's Wonderland, got a grant from the Spurs Silver and Black Give Back organization. So they came to us and wanted some way to encourage kids in wheelchairs to try out wheelchair basketball, which if you've seen it, I mean, you kind of can get bumped around. It's different. So we wanted to give them and their parents a safe way to try it out. So you put on the virtual reality Oculus, and you have two controllers in your hand, so you can wheel around and kind of get the sensation that you're moving around in a wheelchair, and actually throw the ball and make a basket. And so it was so successful, and we were really happy that a lot of the kids said, wow, this really feels realistic. That they came back with another round of grant funding, and now we're incorporating artificial intelligence, where you can actually play against teams. And believe me, I have nothing to do with this. That is completely the internet. I would love to take credit.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's cool, like, for somebody who's not in a wheelchair to try it out and really get that experience. So I think through virtual reality, there's a lot of ways to experience things that in our normal life we're not able to, and help us understand others, which is kind of a cool thing.
I agree with you. But I think that, especially now, I know that you mentioned that James heads up the sort of that department at your company, and we talked about augmented reality before. But if we're in a situation where this becomes more of the norm,
Mhm.
every couple of years we get in a situation where there's a shelter in place order, I think that people were dying to go out and go shop at TJ Maxx. Like, there's some news and things like that. Do you think that you see more of a future with virtual reality and augmented reality on that front?
I really do. We had a large manufacturing company here in town wanted us to do some. We have this really cool 360-degree camera where you can put it in an environment, and again, put on the Oculus, and you can look around, so you are virtually there. We also can do that streaming live. We can stream that live. So for events when there can't be a lot of people, we can stick the camera out there, and people can virtually look around and be part of the action. So I do see that.
Well, like a concert, man.
Right, in concert, exactly,
Like,
exactly.
they're not having Coachella this year. There are so many things that have canceled,
Hmm.
but you know, I still would want to have those experiences. But that seems I
Right.
didn't know about like
Right. So it's kind of cool. You can actually, be there live in 360 degree. And then we were working with Henry B. Convention Center. We are working with them on an app, an augmented reality wayfinding app, where you can kind of hold up your phone, and if you have a booth this is obviously something we're going to have to work on, because I don't know about when we're going to be having those big conventions again, but maybe we're going to have to find a way to use that app that we've developed with that augmented reality aspect, and figure out a way to make that useful if we're doing smaller conventions or not conventions, or how can we bring a convention into your home and you can use your cell phone to interact in
I just need
augmented reality.
I'm thinking about using it in the grocery store. If you could tell me what aisle something's on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, where exactly.
No, but like it's. I think that you're an amazing business person in that you guys see the technology. You guys have started implementing and building products using virtual reality and
Mhm.
augmented reality, because it seems like a lot of people were of the mind that, oh, this is like 80s sci-fi stuff, like video game stuff that's
Uh-huh.
not applicable in real business in the real world.
Mhm.
You but there's definitely applications, and um, it's very very interesting.
It is. And I remember when James, got this augmented reality thing, I'm like, oh my gosh, is this like Call of Duty or, some silly, I'm not a gamer. I'm not going to put this thing on my face. So I did it and I'm like, wow, I never want to leave this world. So until you really try the Oculus with the hand controls, I mean, it is a really, really interesting experience. You'll have to come by the office and check it out, Sean, and see.
No, for sure, for sure. I do get a little bit barfy if I play Call of Duty, though.
Yeah.
By any means,
Well, fortunately, a good thing is we've been using a lot of this technology for non-violent purposes, for educational purposes, for, physical therapy. We've also found with the wheelchair basketball game, the kids were leaning over and actually kind of getting a physical therapy element. So I'm hoping that we, while some people think Call of Duty and those games are fun, I don't want to get any haters, but I like to do it for the more educational purposes.
Well, I think that it's people are just becoming aware of this, and I think I'm of the strong belief that once you start doing things, your awareness becomes larger, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you see all of the possibilities of where we can go, and whereas the closed-minded person or the person that's unaware, they don't necessarily know, but it's definitely an interesting position. So besides traditional messaging, you guys have got this, you know, what is state of the art technology moving forward, trying to adapt and use virtual reality and augmented reality. It's amazing.
What I think is so interesting that it's another form of storytelling, in that you can experience another person's life, which I think understanding and hearing and seeing other people's perspectives is important now more than ever. So I hope that we can use it as ways to help other people understand other people's challenges, whether it be wheelchair basketball or, how other people are perceiving reality. We can kind of share that and understand each other better.
No, for sure. Um, I want to hop over to something else, if you don't mind. So, for those of you that don't know, Heather is an award-winning filmmaker. Okay, and she's made documentaries. Heather, I guess, what was the documentary that you're most famous for?
It's called A Question of Humanity. So Callan, who actually works with us in the office, he and I went to live with a village in northern Uganda because we had heard about this rare childhood disease called nodding syndrome. They didn't know where it came from, but perfectly healthy children would start nodding. That's why it's called nodding syndrome, like nodding, and their bodies would shrink down. I mean, it was just this mysterious disease. And so we went out there to just naively, hey, let's go make a documentary. Let's go live with the village. But we did, and the people of Uganda were so gracious and amazing. And it was a really wonderful experience. And hopefully we opened eyes to the world about this disease and the circumstances that a lot of people in the world are living in.
No, it's amazing. If anybody wanted to watch your film, where is it available?
It's actually on Amazon, Amazon Prime. We have a distributor out of London who picked it up, and you would think I would know that better, but I know for sure they have it on Amazon and maybe some other streaming platforms, but I'll get back to you on that.
Well, if you'd send me some links, maybe I'll post them in the
I will do that. I will do that.
So, more recently, you were working on a sort of lighter topic as your passion project, right?
Yes.
And
Yes. Well, I'm on the board at the fabulous Woody Museum that is now open, so go check it out. We were working there. There was a Fiesta exhibit, and obviously we know Fiesta's kind of been pushed down the year a little bit, but we're going to do a real cool documentary about the people who make the Fiesta Queen and Duchess dresses. You see them on the floats, and these gowns are incredible. Just Met Gala level couture, like just phenomenal.
yeah,
The work put into these dresses is amazing. So we wanted to kind of the name of the exhibit was Behind the Seams. I didn't come up with that. I wish I had, but we were going to go behind the seams and get to know some of these amazing artists in San Antonio. But of course, that has been put on hold because we've had bigger issues to deal with in the world lately.
for sure. No, but I think it's still important to pursue your passions, and you're definitely one that's done that. Is there anything that's sort of percolating in your brain while that project is on hold?
Well, actually, today we've been talking a lot. Of course, my background is journalism. I think at the core, I'm a journalist, and so just things that are going on in Minneapolis and across the country right now. That is of grave concern to me. So how that manifests, whether it's some sort of creative project or some sort of documentary, I'm not sure. But of course, I'm not necessarily the demographic who has suffered as much as others, but I mean, I feel very strongly that all people are treated justly and fairly.
No, absolutely, and I don't think that anybody faults you for being who you are. I think that it's definitely there's this a focus on in this country right now of the treatment of people. This the idea of slavery and segregation being a thing of the past, and that racism isn't a thing in America right now. Not the case.
And I think it's interesting, as and I don't want to get too far off topic, but just as a white honestly white privileged person, it's really easy to say, oh, there's not white privilege, or you know black people or people of color haven't suffered, but they have. And just some of the reading I'm reading a book by Chernoff. I read the Ulysses S. Grant documentary, and I'm reading the Hamilton one. But I mean, this country was built on the back of slavery. I mean, so it's just really interesting when you start reading and educating yourself, like I'm trying to do. Really opens your eyes.
For sure, I think that information is so important, and what you do as a filmmaker is invaluable, because what you see, I think, really sticks with people. I think that's why what we're seeing in the country right now with George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery, when you see videos, like when you see things, it sticks with you, and um, and the idea of somebody doing something right now to address that, I think that that's important. That right now is definitely a time to act and do what you can, regardless of the color of your skin, regardless of your experience. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you, and I hope that we can use this technology for positive, in positive ways, and help. I mean, I'm just really fascinated by humanity and how we can connect and understand each other. And I think what the problem we're facing is we have a lot of fear because we don't know each other. And I think when we get to know each other, that sounds really Pollyanna, but I really think it's true. Like when you really get to know people and you don't have this fear, then how can you hate?
Right. It's true. It's absolutely true. Well, Heather, thank you for taking time out of your day to talk about with me about business, about augmented reality, and the current events. For those of you that are interested in Heather and her business, it's the IMG Studios. We'll put links below. You can go to my webpage and check out the video that's posted in the middle of my page. Heather and IMG did that for me. They're great people. They do great work, and it's exciting times. So thank you, everybody. I hope you have a great day. Heather, thank you for
Thank you so much for asking me to do this. This was fun.
It's good to see you.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.